GSL.
Welcome back to GSL Code S. This is Group D, and we are in the last match of the night. Either Panic or Innovation will move up into that round of 16.
We've had only PVTs, PvPs, and TVTs here. We finished it up with another PVT. Panic, he showed pretty interesting style, smart play against Bomber, but Bomber, I think, overall did defeat him through, just better skill, better play.
Yeah.
And we were talking about this a little bit in the break. We feel like Innovation is definitely a tier above Panic right now, but Panic still has a chance.
Yeah, I'm not counting Panic out here. I think he's played very well today. Innovation has as well, though, so.
Yeah, and you know what? When Innovation lost 0-2 to Bomber, that was like the most emotion I've ever seen out of him. He actually showed discomfort, frustration. Usually he just, he just doesn't show much because he is a robot.
Who the hell is this old guy that's beating me? That's what he's thinking.
Bone Bear? I've never heard of that. I don't know who that is.
Bone Bear. We'll see what Panic can do here. Thing is, I was very excited after Code A. I was like, oh, wow. I mean, if Panic gets the right group, he can get into the round of 16 even. This guy is really good at killing Protoss at least. He seemed pretty good against Bomber. If he can beat Innovation here, I think that the group selection ceremony will be very interesting to see where Panic would get placed.
Yeah.
That would be very interesting.
That would
I think
be
he would
so
be
cool
picked very early, but I think that Protosses should be very wary of him. So I don't know. We'll see. But I think Innovation, probably all this doesn't matter what I'm saying because Innovation will probably just
The map pool for this one is so interesting. Merry-Go-Round, Iron Fortress, and Deadwing. Panic bans out King Salem Station.
Wow.
Instead of Merry-Go-Round.
Okay.
I think we might see some aggressive play out of this guy.
Huh.
Let's see what he does. Jumping into game number 1. Final match.
In the top right of Merry-Go-Round.
SK Telecom T1 Innovation.
Yeah, no, I'm actually thinking very deeply.
Thanks.
I'm thinking very deeply about this, actually. This is an interesting map.
Down in the south.
MVP Panic.
Because, Iron Fortress is kind of weird. It's whatever. He'll probably either go for an Immortal push or Colossus all-in, something like that, most likely. Merry-Go-Round can be a very tough map.
I also think that Innovation banned Overgrowth, which is interesting.
Okay, I can get that because that's the least droppable map. So he might just be he might be able to actually defend everything there. I don't really want that.
He leaves Deadwing. A lot of the times you will see that banned out against Protoss players, but
That's
Innovation, he did the same thing against Creator. He was like, okay, we can play on Deadwing. I'm fine with that.
I think it's because it's so big, and Protosses do feel comfortable in the macro game, and Innovation feels comfortable macroing against anybody in the world, probably.
Yeah. It's just like an Innovation pick, pretty much.
Yeah, I think a lot of Terrans wouldn't like it, because it is kind of defendable and kind of easy. Oh, candy, I'm your candy.
It's so disappointing. They make a sign about you, but they don't have the headphones in.
They didn't have the headphones in?
I didn't see them.
Because I sang to them.
Someone's going to tell them they're going to be so disappointed.
I don't know. Do we have the SBENU commercials on the English stream? People might not understand that song I just sang. There's a funny song that these guys have to listen to every commercial.
They should be on the English stream. But
I'm your candy. And then it goes,
it's literally everywhere.
I'm your candy.
Yeah. Me and the rest of Team Salmon, me, Wolf, and Moonley, we went down to the League of Legends finals here in Korea. We were game traders for one day, and they played the same exact song because SBENU sponsors them as well. SBENU sponsors literally everything.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
And look at this. We're going to have a proxy from Panic. Looks like Stargate.
No, that's right.
No?
A little bit. Would have been
the caster curse.
Funny location, I guess. Very well hidden. Going to be very hard to scout. There's definitely a possibility he's going straight DT here.
Yeah. The reason that I said that is because maybe he just wanted to go 50-50 because he hasn't scouted at all. And that position right there is very close to Innovation's base in the top left.
Yeah.
But this is also good for if you want to put down DTs. And it is going to be DTs.
That's kind of weird, though. Like, with the Reaper coming in?
Innovation is going to see everything.
He actually starts Blink. That's going to be a little bit safer. Like, the DT...
Why does he keep the probe there, then? It's going to be Blink into DT?
I think he's going to add his gates there. I think he's going to put 2 gates there and do a 1-base Blink all in.
That would be pretty cool.
Yeah, it's like a decent thing to try here. And in fact, look at this. Innovation, he is getting a very quick eBay here. You're going to allow him a +1 upgrade and a turret.
And you know the funny thing about that, if he does add the gates, which he is now, is that if you go into the Perles's main base C2 gas, you're not going to expect like just proxied Blink, you know? You're going to be like, oh, it might be Stargate, it might be DTs.
Yeah, he's looking
that's why
for it
he's
right now.
putting down the defense towards Stargate and DTs. But it is going to be that 1-base Blink like you were talking about.
Well, we'll see if that works out for him, because Innovation at least knows something is going on.
Yeah.
He's got a depot, or rather a bunker at the top of the ramp. That's very good. Not really committing SCVs right now to that natural.
Ooh, he's not
I don't know if this is
rallied
going
to
to work.
scout there.
Yeah. I'm not exactly sure if he's going to be able to actually break. Okay, he's lifting up that command center. Innovation is like really on top of what's going on. Making a Marauder, making another Rax.
He's going to come around again with his SCVs. It looks like there may be a Stalker in position. Oh, wow. So smart from Panic. He denies the scouts. And now Innovation doesn't even know if there's a Nexus coming up.
No, he doesn't.
He doesn't know much.
He doesn't have a whole lot of information. In fact, if there was a Nexus coming up, he would still have... That would still be pretty good for Panic. In fact, that'd probably be better than what he's doing now.
Yeah. I was just thinking, like, maybe you do this to trick the Terran.
Yeah.
And then you just go Nexus and deny the scout.
Well, it looks like that was a huge deny on that pylon. That little bit of extra distance is very, very annoying. And now it's... I guess he is sending the mothership core, so he'll be able to blink up, but with that bunker going up, I don't think Innovation is going to take any real damage. I think he's basically fine already. He's going to lose that depot. What else is going to happen? He's going to deny mining at the natural for a long time. But then there's going to be Stim. And, you know, that's pretty good.
Yeah. He's already got 3 racks, 2 tech labs here. He's going to have a ton of Marauders.
Oh, he was a little bit slow in repairing that, actually, so...
But still, so much bio.
Yeah.
I mean, Innovation, he knew this very early on, so it's just an easy add with 2 more racks, and he just has so much stuff. Like you were saying, there goes the depot.
Yeah. That was always going to die. It was nice that he sniped that that first bunker as well. Now, a Time Warp does go down, and he does some pretty good picking off during this time. Nice concave here.
He's actually getting a ton of damage done, but... Oh, that was too good. Going up the ramp there. He's taking a lot of damage now.
Yeah,
himself.
He knows that he can't win against like the remade bunker, so he just pushed right in. It started going well. Didn't end as well though.
Yeah. And he's, of course, very all in on this. He's finally starting to make probes behind this. Maybe he wants to transition to maybe just try to keep Innovation in his base, but Innovation's had 2 CCs for so long. He has the Stim about to finish, and there's the Dark Shrine.
I think that that is probably his best chance here, and I think that he has to non-stop make units and push. He can't, absolutely cannot take an expand. Oh, I don't even like the Sentry that much. I think that even the Sentry is... he might be trying to sell that he's expanding with this Sentry, though. But I feel like if he's not putting on pressure, then we might see a turret made. Like, as soon as the pressure stops, you got to be like, okay, how do I lose this game?
Yeah, it's very easy for Innovation to be like, okay, you already have Blink, you obviously have Twilight Council. Next step could be DTs. And I think he just did see that Sentry there. So let's see what his response is.
He's not...
And we actually do have an expand.
Yeah.
DC's an expand, I guess, to keep him in the main base for a very long time, and maybe he'll be able to get up that base.
Yeah. Let's see. Okay, he sees that the expand is on the way. But he has 2 medevacs about to pop out. Does he still have... Actually, I have this PC. I keep forgetting that. Okay, right now he doesn't have a scan, but he's about to before those DTs even get up the ramp. So as long as he doesn't drop a mule right now, and he doesn't.
And there's a missile turret in the main. Do not forget.
Yeah. And so he waits for that to overcommit, kills it off, scans, bam, has that missile turret going up. This is a perfect situation for Innovation now. This is a game win right here. Like, These two medevacs, there are no units that Panic has that can stop this.
There's absolutely nothing. I don't think he's remade even that Mothership Core. It wouldn't be able to hold off even with a Photon Overcharge. He'd lose one Nexus regardless. So, yeah, I think Innovation just has this game. Panic is forced to back off.
Like, this is what could happen. If he warps in a round of Stalkers right here and has really great micro, maybe he can pick this all off. That would be huge.
Uh-oh.
Sick force field.
Saddest sentry ever. Okay, Stim Bio up against Blink. Usually does not do well. Nice little scan there. I guess to make sure no DTs, but...
Well, yeah, he like pretty much holds that. This is a good micro and stuff. The thing is...
The follow-up is the scary part with combat shields. GG. Panic knows it.
Yeah. When your opponent has Stim and Medevacs and you're still on gateway units, unless you had a huge lead, that is going to be lights out. So it was an okay try there by Panic. He actually did a lot more with it than I thought, considering how on top of things Innovation was. But that's a tough map anyways.
Yeah, I'm just so surprised he lets that through instead of King Sejong. Like,
King Sejong, I think he's afraid of the multitasking of Innovation and like how far back that third is and stuff. Like, you have to play like, I guess you can all in, of course, on any map, but that's like a map where probably as a Protoss you want to play a macro game. And he might not feel comfortable going against Innovation with that, which would make sense. But, I mean, some of these maps over here are going to be very tough. He like has solid, and Innovation knows to look for it.
Yeah. I mean, you expand with Reaper, you're so safe, you get all the information. He didn't scout it straight up, but he had enough information to know that he had to play super safe in this game. And as long as he held, he'd be totally fine. That's all he had to do.
All right. Next map coming up. It's going to be Iron Fortress, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, we
just expect more aggression out of Panic on this map. I mean,
well, I don't expect him to try to take a third base. That would be really weird unless he hit it. That would be, when that's the least weird third that we could see, you know that this map is a weird map.
Yeah. And this is such a rough situation for Panic to be in. He's going to know that I'm going to go aggressive or I'm going to do some weird shenanigans. And Innovation, I think he's pretty good at holding that off. Just seeing his response in game number one, he's very aware of the situation Panic is in, and he held it off with flying colors. Definitely favoring Innovation in this one.
Yeah. But there are some cool builds that can come out of Panic here. Like, Panic played against Bomber, so like, for instance, he was going to do an Immortal push that game. That's not a bad build at all. I think that the quick Prism Colossus drop and the 2-base Colossus all-in is a strong build on this map. And I mean, there's of course other various all-ins that you can do. Or the only thing is, I can't imagine trying to hold a third here against Innovation. It would just never work, right? But maybe because of that, you do it.
Maybe you do it.
Like a
maybe
quick
fast.
third, like a 7-minute third or something, like really fast.
That would be super tricky.
Yeah.
But I feel like that's what Panic has to rely on in this game, on this map. He needs to win 2 in a row against Innovation.
Here we go, guys. Game number 2 between Innovation and Panic. Down in the bottom left, our Terran player favored to go on to the next round. He is
SK Telecom T1 Innovation.
What? I'll be on the top left in the blue, Protoss.
MVP Panic.
I was just thinking, like, about what we were talking about at the beginning of the last game, how, like, I was saying, like, oh, it would be really interesting to see how Panic would be treated in a round of 16 type situation. I thought about Innovation, how not interesting that'd be. It's like, yeah, Innovation would be one of the, these guys you don't really want to have him in your group, so he's one of the last ones picked, and there you go, and that's same old Innovation. Okay.
Yeah. Although he was looking weak, as I said to you before, like some Protosses had figured out, I think it was Stats maybe, but Stats is just like a god overall.
Dude, Stats is the most underrated Protoss, it's insane.
Yeah.
He's
I don't know
so
how overrated
good.
or underrated he is now. I mean, I feel like people are beginning to finally realize. They're like,
Yeah.
oh, all right. It only took like 3 tournaments where he got amazing results to notice this guy.
Really, when I say since the start of this year, this actually includes December. Because StarCraft ends in November. Like, it ends after BlizzCon and restarts sometimes in December, sometimes in January. This year with Pro League and SSL, it started in December. But, like, basically since then, I felt like Stats has been top 5 Protoss nonstop.
Yeah,
he's just been so fantastic. At times, I think he's been second best Protoss in the world. Yeah. But, yeah, that's some pretty exciting stuff. But I feel like... oh, God, my brain just farted right out. Who were we just talking about? Not Stats, but underrated guy that I was talking about. We were just talking about underrated players.
I just gave you this look like,
man.
I don't know, man.
Anyways,
I don't know.
whatever. That's fine. Jet lag.
Yeah.
All right, so. A nice quick scout here. Scouts him first. Innovation has to be very happy about that. Sees 1 gas. That is a ton of information. What do you think about this very quick factory build here by Innovation?
I like it. I like it a lot. We've seen Protoss players having a very hard time dealing with Widowmine drops. I would assume it would be this. I guess he could do kind of like Bomber style, go for some Hellions, but quick starport is going to be Widowmines here.
Yeah, I like the Widowmine over the Hellion here. A little bit less mineral intensive. He does have to get a CC pretty soon unless he wants to 1-1-1, which would be really peculiar.
Interesting thing about this map, it is so hard to get a worker into the natural to see if there's an expansion coming up. Just because it's so far down.
Yeah.
And the choke is so far up. So you can get your units out there, defend against that. It's not like your probe can survive for just a little bit to see the expansion coming up. It's really hard to get in there and actually see.
All right, now he is sending down this mothership core to try to figure out whatever it is that is going on. And he should be able to get a good enough scout off that. The tech is towards the top of that base, so he's going to be able to see. In fact, there's a starport.
We've been seeing this so often as well. Just 1 Widowmine and 2 Hellions.
It is a great combination, no doubt.
You force the pull with the Widowmine, your Hellions do a ton of damage to the lined up probes, and you just cause like gigantic havoc in the base of the Protoss.
All right, so let's see how he wants to deal with this here. How many he has right now? 2 Stalkers, 3rd Stalker on the way.
It's the race home. And Innovation's going to get there first, but 2 Stalkers in a great position.
Does force him to back up here.
Maybe he'll like force
a good probe pull.
I was thinking maybe he forces an Nexus Cannon, but Panic has been doing this all night where he just focuses on 1 base. Doesn't even try to hold both his Nexi for a while.
Really smart play. And look at that, he's not taking any damage yet. All right, he does have to throw down that Nexus Cannon, which is fine. Oh, doesn't quite get the Widowmine. Oh, that's too bad. That would have been a great pickoff. But this was like a flawless defense.
Yeah.
That was just
actually flawless.
Like that was actually flawless to pull the probes even. A lot of people don't pull it and just try to like micro extra. Yeah. But you're not going to micro extra against that. Innovation's army is actually better than yours. He was only on 2 Stalkers and a Nexus Cannon, and that is only enough to defend 1 Nexus in this situation.
And it opens you up to making so many mistakes. But hold that thought. We actually have some more counter aggression coming out of Panic. Kind of what he wanted to do against Bomber in that last game.
This is actually the same thing that we saw on Overgrowth against Bomber, where he says, okay, you went tech. I have a bunch of Stalkers here. Let's go.
He's focusing down that bunker.
Oh,
it survives.
That's a heartbreak right there. That could...
He sacrificed so many Stalkers for that. Like a couple of them and a lot of health on the other ones.
He was so close to busting it. And if he busts that there, he's playing against non-stim Marines. Like, with this many Stalkers, he does fine. That actually... I'm like getting a lot of chills this game because like that tiny thing that we just saw, just 1 innovation this game if he wins. Like he would have, I think he would have 100% lost if he hadn't done that bunker up. Like look at this, he's still almost breaking through despite a bunker. Wow.
Corner boost down all the gateways. He is really committing to this. He's still doing a lot of damage.
Yeah, still doing a very good job here. Innovation, microing his heart out, seeing what he can do to hold on.
I think he was thinking about going up the ramp, but nice block there with the SCVs by Innovation. Still a huge number of these stalkers out on the map, and now with an observer here, can begin to poke at some of those depots up on the ramp here.
Does push forward, trying to poke down any Marauders that he can. Picks one off already. Looks like he even has a Zealot in here to take the beatings. Good usage of Zealot to tank.
Warp Prism is on the way.
Ooh,
that is so big.
I like this.
I actually would have liked that better than the second observer.
This is some really flexible, cool play we're seeing from Panic with this build. Like, to incorporate this in your strategy when you're really focusing on this 3-gate attack, I really, really like it. And the fact that he's making a sentry right now, I think we're going to see a force field on that ramp. And that would be huge, because that would give him enough time for warping rounds and stuff. If he places the Warp Prism perfectly so that he can, like, pop in, pop out, that type of the elevator strat.
Man, this is so smart. He can just elevator those 2 sentries in.
Yep. And
there
here
you
we
go.
go. That's a very good force field right there. The other sentry taking some damage on the low ground. Nice micro here by Panic, pulling everything back, not losing anything right now. Does pick off a few extra units here. Maybe a little bit sloppy from Panic there, but some good micro pushing forward. He's going to be able to get another force field.
Gets one more.
That is really nice. Now he can do even more damage.
Now he's got control of the main. He can warp in more sentries if he feels like he needs to. He may want to. There you go. 2 more, actually. And a really nice time warp at the same time. He's actually going to cut that in half and just fight it straight up.
Yeah.
He's got enough stuff.
Wow. Really well done here by Panic. When Innovation got that bunker up, I thought that this wouldn't end up working, but Panic really just realizing that he has this big edge in units due to the tech opening here from Innovation. Really well done. And
Panic is making it so hard for Terrans to tech, actually.
Yeah.
GG.
Well, this is like actually how Rain was dominating way, way back. And this strategy, once again, against all these factory openings, doing a fantastic job. This is so smart by Panic. And I think right now, Innovation has to look at this and say, okay, I can't open with tech. I don't think you should open with tech again.
No,
I think
you should.
It's foolhardy. Obviously, Panic has practiced the hell out of this. He knows these branches that Innovation isn't used to. You have to back up into a different style of play.
Hopefully the coach is going in there, giving him some good words of advice, because he's definitely got to switch it up a little bit, you know. Maybe just play safe like he did in Game 1, make some racks. It's going to be Deadwing for Game 3, so maybe even just play like CC first, throw down 3 racks,
yeah, that'd be cool.
Be very safe with the follow-up.
Yeah.
You know, you get a good macro.
I would like the
Game
3
going.
racks play. He did that against Creator, didn't he? Yeah.
Yeah.
I would like to see that here. I think that is
Same
the
build.
optimal
Let's do it.
strat.
Yeah.
Because something like 3-gate doesn't do anything. It actually loses to that.
Yep.
So that would be a smart type of play for him, I think. Of course, that gives Panic some room to get into whatever tech he wants and whatnot.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe Panic can read into that.
Yeah.
He's a very intelligent player.
Indeed, especially since he has a couple people in there helping him in Seed and Choya.
Yeah.
I mean, these are both Choya, a former professional Protoss player, and Seed, a current professional Protoss player. Well, the way he's dressed today, it seems like he's maybe transitioning. I don't know.
This is going to be a really interesting game. I love the fact that we're getting into Game 3. Don't be shy. You're fine.
It's the greatest game on Earth. You are getting to watch right now in South Korea. What a great life you guys have down there. Oh my God.
Artosis is my candy.
That's right.
What epic music for the final game.
Indeed. Well, guys, we're going to be getting into this momentarily.
GG.
Some great signs on there. Very excited crowd. Glad you guys all could make it down today. Have some big non-Korean presence here.
Deadwing is the final match. How crazy would it be if an innovation does not go on? We predicted him to get out.
Yeah, but we also predicted Panic, so we're right no matter what this match.
I guess you're right, Artosis.
All right, guys, let's see it. Game number 3 between Innovation and Panic going to Deadwing. If Innovation gets knocked out, get ready for the Terran tears on Twitter.
It's going to get Protoss, if anything.
Yeah, that's what it'll be, despite the fact that Panic has shown extremely intelligent and well-executed play throughout the day and Code A this season. Must be the race.
Yep.
Couldn't possibly be a player that's coming up.
Final match, game 3.
Up here in the top right, he's got to win this to go to the round of 16.
SK Telecom T1 Innovation.
Down in the bottom right, he also has to win this
MVP Panic.
to go to the round of 16.
It's a great intro there, Valdez.
Yeah. I just figured I'd parrot you for a bit. It was just so amazing. I had to follow what you did.
It was fantastic. See why it paid well. All right. So here we are. Very excited to see what strategies these guys open up with.
Again, it's not cross spawns. We'll have just vertical spawns again.
Yeah, that's actually a good point to bring up. It definitely does change how you play the map. Bit closer. The pushes can come down 2 different areas.
Innovation versus Creator was the same, just on the left side of the map.
That's right. Do you prefer when you play StarCraft do you prefer like up or down? Because this was actually like this really funny, like we talked about this so much in StarCraft 1. Like around 2004, 2005, we all suddenly realized that everyone liked to play at top spots.
Oh yeah, I was going to say the same thing.
Yeah, because attacking down was easier than attacking up.
Yeah, I think it actually is.
Yeah, and I thought about it a long time, and I came up with the fact that the mini-map is on the bottom of the map and you use it a lot. So
your attention is focused down.
Yeah.
So it's easy to just look at the mini-map.
Yeah, and like also the mouse movements, if you have to attack up and then go back and click the mini-map for whatever reason, then it's easier if you're attacking down.
But also defending while you are on bottom, I guess, might be a little bit easier. You know, you're looking at the bottom left of your base, let's say on Overgrowth as a Protoss, you'll be able to see the mini-map a little bit easier.
Oh, okay.
Some drops coming in.
Maybe.
Stuff like that.
I've seen some people using like eye tracking software and stuff while they play and just kind of looking at what that's like. It's all very interesting. Esports is still very much in its infancy. I can't wait to see in like 100 years and stuff what it looks like.
Teams of analysts tracking the professionals' eyes and what is the ideal way to actually look at the game.
Ideal? But yeah, it's actually, I mean, it will happen. That will occur at some point.
I hope so. It's going to be so exciting. Wow, we see tech once again from Innovation.
Yeah, it is after a Reaper expand, so a little bit later than what we saw before.
Yeah, true.
And the Reaper may be able to let him know if something like that's coming this time. Uh-oh.
What?
There it is.
That was scary.
Yeah. Maybe we had an alt tab there, I'm not sure.
Looked like it.
Yeah. So, okay, this game going a little bit different for Panic. He's actually going directly into Forge. Let's check and see what he has, so what he's seen. He's not really scouted yet, so kind of interesting with such a quick Forge here.
I mean, he can assume Reaper expand, of course. He sees the Reaper. So that's all the information he's going off of here.
Yeah, and it's not really that much.
Whoa.
And he actually lets him see the Forge, so...
He was trying not to let him see it. But...
Now...
kind of fails there.
Yeah, the quick Forge doesn't necessarily mean that much. Like, you can actually squeeze your Forge in there. It's not really a problem. Thing is, if you've scouted your opponent sometimes you can even make a cannon against a Widowmine drop. And like if you have one cannon, you like don't even need to worry about the Widowmine drop really, because you only have to really focus on one of your nexuses.
Yeah. Maybe that's the idea. Very early upgrades, but also a cannon.
Yeah, it could be.
Safe.
It could be. I mean, the thing is, if you make a cannon and you went barracks, you're like, oh, I'm done. But you know, it's fine anyways. He has his +1 armor on the way. That's nice. Will Innovation be able to do any damage with the upcoming drop, though? This is the question.
That cannon.
And in fact, makes one in both mineral lines.
It's just safety cannons.
Yeah.
Not much else.
It's pretty awesome, to be honest. Like, the Widowmine drop will do 0. His cannons are going to be warped in just as this gets here.
That's pretty incredible timing, actually. This is a very practiced build from Panic. It's very obvious.
Yeah. This is also like a very old way to like this type of play has been around forever. Panic is like bringing back very good strategies. And look at this. These Marines are getting slaughtered. He loses basically nothing here. 2 probes for all those Marines. And now Innovation sees a cannon. Now Innovation right now is thinking about how it is he's going to get to the round of 16 because Panic is in the lead here. It's not like
That's
a
just an
game
interesting
winner.
way to frame it, but it's actually true. He's like, oh,
Look,
whoa.
like, Panic better be thanking Rain right now because he's just using a bunch of strategies that Rain invented way back in the day.
He pulled out like an old file of replays, just watched it for inspiration.
Rightfully so, because look at this. Off of one gateway, right? He has already got +1 armor. He's already getting +1 attack. He has his robo up. He's killed a bunch of units off, lost almost 0. He's going to be getting Blink here. Bam, there you go. He's getting Blink. He's going to start a Colossus in a second here. This is like, as a Protoss, you cannot be happier unless you like went in Oracle and killed a bunch of probes or SCVs. This is, he's in just fantastic shape. Innovation has done nothing and can do nothing for the next few minutes.
And you can say, like, hey, he went for 2 cannons, you know, that's some minerals here and there, but I think it's 100% worth it.
Oh, yeah.
It buys him so much safety, so much time to just do whatever he wants. And
look at this medevac.
What is he? Is that like the scouting medevac, I guess?
Yeah,
coming
mostly.
in to see what buildings are there?
Yeah.
Because that's not getting any damage. Sorry, Innovation.
No, certainly not.
And he actually does get a huge scout, so.
Yeah. It's important for him to see what's going on, and he forces a next cannon. That's nice.
We're seeing a lot of gateways being powered up here. He also goes for +1 with a slightly later Twilight timing here. Is it possible that he goes for an aggressive attack?
He absolutely
He stayed at 45 probes for a very long time.
Well, I would say with this many gates on the way, it's not completely unlikely. Like, this can also be a safety precaution for taking his next base where he says, well, I'm already in a good spot. Let me easily
first,
take a base.
Then take the Nexus.
Yeah, that's because that's so safe. You're never going to lose your Nexus then. Oh, that could be a huge drop!
5 kills, not bad.
Okay. It was not as bad as it could have been. It was a good drop.
And it does cut down Panic to 40 probes, and he's not remaking anymore. And actually, that medevac spots the entire army moving out. It also sees no third base. And immediately lifts that CC.
Rightfully so. He has to be so careful here. Now, if the second he sees that the third base has been moved, if he starts a Nexus, I'm becoming the sickest Panic fan. Like, I want to see him start a Nexus right here, because even though he's committed very heavily to this...
Yeah, he has 40 probes. That's the
unless
hard
he
part.
really thinks he can break it. Well, this is really good. Oh my god, all those SCVs in the front. Oh, he backs up. Okay. Felt like that was an opportunity to kill like 8 SCVs for almost free. All right, he's just decided he's going to bust this.
Yeah.
This
He's
is pretty
backed off.
brave with 2 Colossus, but well, he has a third on the way.
Nice sieging here, the range from the Colossi. Just 2, but doing already a ton of damage to the SCVs in the front and the bunkers. For not much damage taken himself.
Yeah.
He begins probes once again. Although, no, he just canceled those. Maybe those are zealots. What am I saying?
Well, let's see if he can end up breaking through here. We do have a nice time warp going down. Does bust through that bunker. SCV's coming from the side. We have the Vikings trying to target down. They will kill one of these Colossi. And it looks like, oh, those force fields are just so good right now, holding back so many units. But finally they do evaporate, and Innovation going to stim and run forward here.
But at the same time, he's losing a ton of bio. Doing that, all he's got is a bunch of Marines. He's already lost 20 SCVs now. Oh man, a huge number of Stalkers remain. There's still one Colossus in the mix. Now he's seizing that natural.
Now, this is, like, Innovation is in a lot of trouble right now. There's still some possibilities of a victory. He can somehow kill off all these units. It's hard, though. They have Blink. The Colossus even does come back, decides to put some extra damage down.
And it goes down.
All right, well, with all these Stalkers, Innovation could be in a lot of trouble here. But at the same time, look, the supplies are very, very close right now. Yes, we have a probe lead for Panic, but he's on 2 bases. So it's not that big a lead, especially since we have all the mules at the hidden third base that Innovation floated to.
Yeah.
There's a big thing to keep in mind.
Very important to note.
His income is still very good. And with just Stalkers here, like, okay, he's just now starting another Colossus. I actually think this is now going to go to Innovation. Like, Panic almost broke through there. Yes, he killed a lot of SCVs. But as this medevac count gets up a little bit and he makes a few more Marauders, how the hell does Panic hold on against it?
I don't know, man. With that third base staying up and no scout there from Panic,
yeah,
it's going to be very hard. He's trying to remake probes when he was down at 40 to try to, I guess, you know, get a decent saturation and maybe eventually take a third base.
God, this is looking really better and better for Innovation every second here. If only, you know, he hadn't lost all those Colossi, but, you know, that is the nature of it when he decided to actually commit to that attack. And that's how stuff like that goes a lot. If Terran really pulls back and gets very defensive, it's a long, drawn-out battle. And Innovation just barely outdid Panic during it. But now Panic, for not making a third, for losing all those Colossus, is in a tough spot. The game isn't over yet, though. But is there ever going to be a time where Panic can safely take a third now?
I don't know. Innovation, once again, has got pretty much full map control here. He has even a Marine now scouting both bases to make sure he hasn't taken a Nexus. He has units in position to drop and punish that if a third base goes down. All the while he has that hidden third base. He was making 3 SCVs at a time. He's getting a very big economy behind this, and oh man, that is a lot of units.
Yeah, it is. That army is so scary, and in fact, we see right now Templar Archives coming up, so this is a desperation Templar Archives. He realizes, like, yeah, I think he's looking at it and saying, okay, this is turned kind of bad, but if I had Storm in this situation, I would win. And he's right. If he had, like, 2 High Templars with Storm, he would absolutely hold against this. Like, but can he actually get that in time?
They got to be really good Storms too. If we get good splits from Innovation, he just has so much bio. May not even matter. And here we go. The boys are pulled.
Oh man, I don't think so, Valdez. I don't think that Panic has much of a shot here.
I don't think this works.
Yeah. He needs another, let me see here, another 70 seconds, and he just doesn't have that. Force fields don't last 70 seconds. Maybe they need a buff. I don't know. Yeah, that is so much. Oh my god. Okay, he does have 3 Colossus. Let's see. He couldn't hold it last time.
He's trying so desperately to chrono boost out the Storm. With so many Vikings focusing down the only AoE he has at the moment.
Oh man, the micro of Innovation is plenty. He pulls back out of Colossus range, and this is going to be it. Yeah. That is going to be that, and right before Storm finishes, kills those off. It was a close one. This is a very close series, and I have to say, even though Panic is out, I'm still very excited about this guy's future.
Oh yeah, he was so close against both Bomber and this Innovation, and he should be frustrated, but he had a good day. At the end of it all, though, Innovation will move on in 2nd place.
Well, look, I think that this is the best results we could have today as Innovation and Bomber moving forward. It's especially interesting because it wasn't innovation in first place.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I'm excited about the future here. Like in this next round, I'm wondering how much we're gonna get to see Panic in Pro League. I think that he could definitely become a regular. Like the kid played really well here today, and he played really well in Code A. He is just
He definitely deserves more of a shot.
Yeah, ignore him at your own risk.
Yeah, exactly. They need to start playing this guy a little bit more. Innovation, though, a very scary couple of series. He almost did not make it to the round of 16.
Yeah.
This is innovation we're talking about. He was one game away.
That was really, really close. Like, there's two things that could have gone differently there. One, that was a very close micro fight. Innovation ended up winning it. You know, if he misclicks once or maybe slightly better micro from Panic, maybe he breaks through just enough to win the game off of Blink Stalkers.
Yeah.
But also if Panic, like right as he went up and saw that the third was lifted, if he had made a Nexus right there and acted like he was all-inning, I feel like that would have been a victory.
Pressure,
or
keep him at his at his bunkers for a very long time.
Yeah, pick off SCVs and units as you can, but don't lose your Colossus.
You know who does this all the time is SOS. He loves to put on that pressure and just take a base at the same time. Sometimes hidden bases.
Yeah.
SOS beginning to make that a little bit more popular. I feel like Innovation, he had that third CC, and it was just like a very interesting, not planned hidden base that worked out for him so well. It was awesome.
Guess so.
Yeah, I guess I'll just hide this.
달랐습니다. 이신영 선수 바로 만나보겠습니다. 축하드립니다.
Former champion
네.
GSL, he advances to the round of 16.
3세트까지 갔네요. 마지막에 좋아하실 때 진심이 조금 느껴졌어요. 소감 어떠세요?
마지막 게임 때 좀
Felt really happy after that third set, but how did he feel besides that?
이상하게 게임이 할만하더라고요.
In the last set, he thought he was going to lose.
그래서 떨어진 줄 알았다가 올라가가지고 되게
But he kept
좋았어요.
playing, and he was able to turn the tables
이상하게라는
around.
표현을 하셨는데 정말 상대의 그 러쉬가 또 막히더라고요. 이신영 선수에게. 그래서 분위기가 기울면서 이신영 선수 이렇게 또 16강 진출률 100%를 유지하게 됐습니다. 자, 오늘 벤시 활용을 굉장히 많이 하는 모습을 봤습니다.
He has an 100%
경기를 보면서
rate
중계진도
actually of
조금 아직
advancing to the round of 16
모습이
of
완벽하진
GSL.
않은가 이런 이야기 좀 많이
That's really
하셨어요.
cool.
어떠세요? 지금 과도기에 있나요?
제가
Korean pastor said
벤시를
that
좋아하기도 하고
innovation
많이
is not
쓰는데
100%
오늘
yet.
좀 잘 게임 자체가
He
안
likes
풀린 것
Banshees and he
같고
likes to use
잔실수들이
Banshees.
많아가지고 그리고 유독 좀
But the game
노련미
really
있는
worked
테란들한테
for him today.
제가
He
많이
made a
치는 것
couple of few
같아가지고
mistakes.
네.
그런 점을 좀 보완해야 될 것 같아요.
He also feels that he loses a lot to veteran Terran players.
인연이
Talking
없는 것
about that
같은데
TBT
오늘도 이 최지성 선수와 테란전에서 정말 아쉬운 모습들이 나왔습니다. 벤시를 제대로 활용도 못 해보는 경기들이었어요. 어떠셨어요? 최지성 선수와의 경기.
You weren't really able to utilize your Banshee play against Bomber.
아쉽긴 한데 그래도 올라가가지고
He says he
딱히
feels a bit
상관없는 것
disappointed about that.
오, 굉장히 멘탈이 괜찮으시네요.
But he was still able to advance
오늘
to the round of 16
또 벤시를
after it all,
활용했죠.
so he
사실
still
강현우
feels
선수와
pretty happy.
1세트부터 사실 저는 트레이드 마크 지뢰 드랍을 뭔가 쓰지 않을까 저도 그렇게 생각을 했었는데 상대도 또 지뢰 드랍에 맞춤으로 준비를 해왔거든요. 근데 무난하게
Gary
앞마당 먹고
expected some
상대는
mine
가고 이렇게
drop
하셨어요.
play against the
특별한
Verdos
준비가
players.
있었나요?
그냥 제가 지뢰 드랍을
But he didn't really
좋아하기도
show
하고
much
또
today.
상대도 그런 걸 알 것 같기도 해서 좀 다른 거를
He
썼어요.
likes to use mine
오늘이
builds, and his
오늘이었고 참
opponents
적중을
should
했던 것
know
같은데
that. So he
우리
was trying to change
코치님과도
his build
굉장히
around
이야기를
today.
자주 많이
Something we were talking about
하시더라고요.
actually.
주로 전체적으로 어떤 이야기였나요?
그냥 상대 토스들이 좀 전략적이어가지고 그런 부분을 좀 캐치를 해주셨어요.
최대한 안정적으로 가라.
He says the Protoss players in his group were very strategic players, very smart players. So his coach mentioned that to him in the booth.
승리전을 말씀하신 것 같은데
And
자,
he did
이신영
want to play his
선수
normal
16강에
game.
올라가게 됐고 조지명
And he actually
씨도
wanted
여전히 참여하게
Innovation
됐습니다.
to
지난번에는
trick his
첫 번째 그 시드를 가지고 있었기 때문에 조지명 씨의 그 치열함을 느끼진 못하셨을 텐데 그때 부탁 많이 들어주셔가지고 그렇게 걱정되진 않네요. 어떠세요?
저는 근데 뭐
So now you're going into the group
16강은
selections. How do you feel
웬만하면
about that?
강한 조들이어가지고 딱히 뭐 죽음의 조 가더라도 상관은 없어요.
네.
All the players that have advanced to the round of 16 are all great players.
보여주고 계신데 이번 시즌은
So he doesn't really care
언제나처럼
about which group he's
우승
going to get into.
예감 드세요? 안 드시겠죠?
네, 예감은 안 드는데요. 그냥 연습 때 좀 기량이 올라오고 있는 것 같아가지고 그냥
During
대신
practice, he
운만 좀
feels his
좋으면
skills
높게
improving.
올라갈 수 있을 것 같긴 해요.
So if he has some luck in his
가장
brackets, he
자신감
thinks he should
넘치는
advance
분이시네요.
into the higher rounds.
네, 이신영 선수 참 오랜만에 이렇게 방송 경기로 인사드리게 됐는데 앞으로 GSL에서의 활약을 기대하고 있겠습니다. 마지막으로 팬분들께 한마디 부탁드립니다.
Final comments to your
최근에
fans.
좀 주춤하고 있긴 한데 그래도
He says, I'm not doing so well
그렇게
recently.
완전 무너진 건 아니라고 생각해서 그냥 더 지켜봐 주셨으면 좋겠어요.
네, 이신영 선수 믿고 계속 지켜보도록 하겠습니다.
But I
자,
still hope my
오늘
fans
16강
look
진출
forward to
다시
my
한번
matches
축하드립니다.
네,
and see
감사합니다.
me.
자, 이렇게 오늘 D조 2위 진출을 이룬 SK텔레콤 T1 이신영
Very
선수를
innovation.
만나봤는데요.
All right, guys, so these are our results today. Panic did have a couple very close PvT matches there and just crushed in his PvP, so some really great third-place player here as well.
You know who Panic reminds me of is Yonghwa. He's like, he gets so close to making out of the round of 32. He's also
Yeah.
very tricky, like very smart Protoss player, but he doesn't quite make it through.
That's pretty fair, actually. It is, and I'm liking him more and more, which kind of gets him like Younghwa as well, who I've loved for many years.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm excited about Panic's future, but I'm more excited about that round of 16 coming up with Bomber and Innovation both going up.
Yeah.
A couple of great additions to it. Very exciting players to watch.
Both Terrans make it through. I mean,
Is that 5
does this
Terrans so
say
far?
anything about the balance of the game, Artosis?
It probably says all sorts of things. Again, no Zerg advances.
I know, what is this? I mean, the recent patch with the Swarmo is just ridiculous.
You could really see that shown here today. By the way, guys, our next match on Friday,
Oh my god.
TY,
Look at this
Liquid
group.
Hero, Maru, and Biol.
What is this group?
It's pretty exciting,
It's
actually.
pretty nice.
I wonder
I mean,
how well
for-
Liquid
as it-
Hero can do.
As it goes for around the 32 groups, you know? I mean, it's not CJ Hero, but it is Liquid Hero, also a very strategic Protoss.
Yeah.
TY, he's kind of floundering these days, but he's getting back.
He's a seed
you know?
from last season, though, so he's
Exactly.
recently, like, not recently, I guess that was a few months now, but he played well in the last Code S.
Yeah.
Maybe you can get out of there. Like,
It's definitely possible.
I'm very interested to see how Liquid Hero does because he played very well in Code A, much above my expectations. So
Yeah, that's going to be an interesting one. And then, of course, Maru and Biol. Biol, a recent definite top 2. Zergs, you were saying, you know, life dark, but I think Biel's up there now.
Yeah,
Maybe
yeah.
just top 3. He's definitely up there.
He's
though.
always poking his
incredibly
head
good.
around.
He's incredibly good nowadays.
yeah, he certainly is.
And
so
of course, Maru. So.
that's Mario. He's all right.
Yeah.
It looks like we should be getting another Terran out, but we'll see. That's a tough group, guys. Make sure you tune in on Friday. Thank you very much for watching. Bellas, thank you for casting
No
with me
problem.
today. Very glad to be back. A little bit jet lagged, but excited for Friday.
Yeah.
We'll see you then, guys.